insists that Tuesdays, the Gunners are confident that they can deliver something special by overturning a 1-0 first leg deficit when they face Paris Saint-Germain in obviously Paris, capital in the returning match of the Champions League semi-final tie. He says, in his words, "We are here to win the game. We are here to make a statement. We want to get to the final. So we need to be ready to go and do that." Rice told us that he is very and his team are ready for a super showdown later tonight. He says still we need to have big balls and also we need to go out there on the biggest stage and show that we are ready to play at this level. It is going to be the biggest night in this club's history if we can get to the final. So we are fully ready to go. PSG holds the advantage coming into Wednesday's match after Ousmane Dembele early goal gave them a narrow victory at the Emirates Stadium last week. However, both Rice and Arsenal coach Mikel Arteta said that they believe they could get the better of a side who has eliminated Premier League oppositions in each of the last 2 rounds, knocking out Liverpool in the last round of 16 and Aston Villa in the quarterfinals. So, is it a job of PSG now to knock out England players, or would I say England teams? Because Liverpool took the first share, Aston Villa follows it. Now, Arsenal.
Well, if it's their pathway to win the Champions League,
then they should take it.
Let's see, because it's history. It's all about making history. That's what Champions League usually bring. It's nice for history, a lot of memories for the team and the players. So, well, we can't say, but tonight's game is going to be very, very difficult, at the same way entertaining. You understand? Because it's going to be different from the first leg.
Okay.
Because this second leg is bring the flair, the thrills of the game. This is the second leg. Yes, you saw what happened yesterday.
Yes.
Inter Milan and Barcelona. And now PSG have a goal lead already. And they are playing at home. And you know how they perform well against last time in Arsenal, going to win Arsenal in Emirates. That's a kudos for them.
Yes, so that's the best thing that can happen to a team going to play on the road.
Yes, winning away from home. So, and Arsenal know now they need to do more.
Yes,
because it's not going to be a walkover game for them. And good thing for them, Thomas Partey is coming in. The first game was not there because of the yellow card.
So now this will now give Declan Rice more room.
More room to roam around, to win the balls. Because we saw what he played in the first leg. Despite there was no Partey, he was there doing the passes.
Sitting back and still attacking,
moving, driving the ball around. So they just need, now it's all about scoring.
Yes.
Because you need to score goals if you want to win any tournament. If you want to win anything, you need to score goals. Before you get to the penalty, you need to score goals. You see, first leg, they had the chances. The Martinelli had his chance, same as Trossard. Anyway, they had the chance to get a goal and come into this second leg. So now they are one goal down. PSG can decide to come and sit back, which you know they are not the team that sits back to defend.
Yes.
They don't defend. The likes of Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, Desire, those boys they don't defend. And their midfield also, you know, they are trio in the midfield. Joao Neves.
Very locked.
These boys are playing so fantastic well. So the game is it's going to bring a different mentality. And you could see Dembele, because it seems he trained. We don't know if he could get a cameo or he could sit
Actually,
out.
the report says that he's very fit.
So
we are still going to talk about that still.
Yeah, so we don't know how it's going to be. So it's a different setup for the game than the first leg. So it still boils down to how much Arteta and Declan Rice, because
really
they are confident they can win. So it's not about confidence alone. It's about the mentality going to the game, because the approach to the game matters. First leg, in less than 8 minutes, you were up. You know how early goals usually hurt teams. Early goals usually hurts him because he not give you time to prepare. You are not expecting. Now you're trying to equalize, and now you're
build momentum again.
And the other team, the team that scored, their approach to the game is not different because they have a goal already. That's how we saw that first game. Because after PSG went up, they were still attacking Arsenal.
Yes.
Anyway, they still need second goal. So Arsenal was very conscious. They don't want to go all attack to score. They were still trying to defend and all. So now they still. Today is going to be a very good game.
It's actually going to be a very good game.
Hopefully.
So, because I know definitely Arsenal, we all know that they don't even sit back. PSG still doesn't sit back. So we are just expected to see.
Yeah, it's going to be an end-to-end football.
An end-to-end football.
All
Yes, that's
attack,
what so now, you mentioned Ousmane Dembele, and we're not certain of how fit he is, but this is what, the report says. Paris Saint-Germain forward Ousmane Dembele, who suffered a hamstring injury last week, has been past fit to play in the Champions League semi-final, second leg against Arsenal. Coach Luis Enrique says this. Dembele came off in the 70th minute of the first leg in London after scoring the only goal of the game in the 4th minute, prompting the coach to suggest after the match that there was a doubt over his chance of playing in Wednesday's return match. He missed Saturday's League One defeat against Strasbourg, but resumed training at the start of the week. The French international has been PSG's star performer this season, scoring 33 goals in all competitions. South Korean midfielder Lin Kang is also, also took part in the team's training season section following the knockout he received in Strasbourg. So looking at this now, Lin is also coming back. The midfield that is getting more, intense and very, very loaded. So it's just going to be an amazing time tonight. I'm very sure, just like yesterday was. And then we'll see how well this can continue. So let's talk about yesterday's game. Where Inter Milan and Barcelona has been ranked one of the best semi-finals, that was played, an all-time, basically, in what is already being talked about as one of the greatest Champions League semi-finals of all time. Inter Milan edged past Barcelona 7-6 on aggregates. When last did we see so much goals like this in the Champions League? Those are like
Liverpool, AC Milan.
Yeah, we saw that.
AS
Roma. And yes, true.
Yes, the same aggregate.
Same aggregate, yes, same as 6. And we also saw something like this remarkable to 6-5 Real Madrid, Manchester City. This was in 2002. We saw far back, even 2008, Chelsea, Barcelona, and there's just been a whole lot of games. So looking at that now and looking at how Inter Milan and Barcelona performed yesterday, we all know that Barcelona is an attacking team, and we saw lots of attacking. We know Inter Milan to be defensive and sometimes attacking, and yesterday we saw them not even sitting back at all. How well did you think they performed yesterday, and were you surprised about those much goals that you saw yesterday?
No, I'm not surprised. If you follow the first game, Inter showed that's the first leg. Inter showed they are a very good attacking side.
Okay.
They showed their side that can actually score goals. They can score goals the same way they can defend. That's the same way they approached to the game yesterday.
Yes.
But at the time they threw away 2-goal lead, which is not nice.
Yeah.
You understand? You having a 2-goal lead, you're not supposed to throw that away. First game they threw it away. They Barcelona came to equalize 3-3, same as this first leg. But that's a good thing for the team.
At some point, Barcelona even took the lead. They had to come back from behind to win.
Yes, to win. So that's a good team. How the setup is. That's kudos to Inzaghi and his team. You know how compact the midfield, the Mkhitaryan, the Chanulugu, the Barella. Those guys are always there marking.
Yes.
So in a way, yes, they had chance to get
the
best side of Barcelona, you understand? And Dumfries was so fantastic. First leg and the second leg, Dumfries was so fantastic.
Yeah.
The same thing Yami Lama was doing at the left-hand side. Dumfries was doing at the right-hand side. He was overlapping. In this game, he had like 5 goals. 5 goal inclusion,
yes.
Goal and assist. In this, so you should know how integral he is to this team.
Okay.
That's coming in from a defender. You should know how integral the defender is. So it's a good thing for those guys, good thing for Barcelona. Well, they tried their best. So congratulations to Inter.
Yeah.
They tried, they showed that they really need to win this game.
And they won it.
Yes, they won it. And their fans were so fantastic yesterday. This is the kind of game we want to see, the kind of Champions League flair
we want to see.
We have missed in a while.
Yeah,
understand?
True.
This is why we want to watch Champions League.
That's very true. And we're hoping maybe later today we'll still see another another, you know,
Hopefully
mouth-watering, exciting game that will be played between PSG and Arsenal. Before I let you go, what is your prediction for the game? What are you expecting to see the scoreline?
I can't actually predict
Right now, yeah, the edge of your seat as well.
I can't actually predict because you know how it is now. You see how yesterday turned out. But PSG having a good lead already,
yeah, it's an advantage.
It's an advantage for them. And hearing that Dembele is fit, you know how he was. It was turned to Arsenal's first, the first game. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's approach. The approach to the game
matters.
That matters.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Olaiwaju Jesse, for taking our time to join us on today's edition of Talk Sport. We'll obviously see you again as we continue all of this conversation as the season comes to an end.
Yes. Thank you. A pleasure to be here.
Yes. And we'll be going on a quick break. And when we return back, I'll be having a conversation around basketball with Coach Lawal Daddy. And also we're getting updates from Abuja City League. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yes, many thanks for staying with us. I have the head coach of Gilali here with me in the studio. Gilali is a grassroots basketball academy here in the capital. And also we are about to have conversation around the NBA playoffs and Abuja City League. But before we get into the NBA playoffs, I want to say a very big thank you for making our time to come join us on today's edition of Talk Sports.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so now let's get right into it. Abuja City League ongoing obviously for the past 2 weeks, and your team has been, advancing properly. So what mindsets do these players come to play with on a weekend, on a almost daily basis? Talking about the squad now.
Yeah, the first thing they have to work with my policy.
Okay.
As a coach, you need to have policy that actually make the players stand out. So my policies is, I don't care how many players are on the court.
Okay.
If I have 2 players that are ready to play and ready to listen, because if they can listen, that means I can impact.
Yes.
So if I have 2 players that are ready to listen, I'm good with the 2 players.
Okay.
I'm not good with everybody, but if everybody is ready to go, then I'm good to go.
Okay, let's look at this angle. Now, we saw, like you rightly mentioned, weeks before now, your team always come from behind. I asked, is that a strategy?
Yes.
That's a strategy.
Yes.
What if does it always work out?
It's always worked out very well. And most time, like I was in the Democracy Day Championship the last time.
Yes.
And an academy, imagine, my academy was the only academy invited for the Democracy Day Championship. And we beat some league team like Bauchinet, Hot Coal,
yes.
FCT Hard Rockers and ETC, beat them like, even at the 3rd place, we beat FCT Hard Rockers, I could remember, with like over 18 points.
Okay.
So it's a whole lot of work, developing the player from nothing up to something where they can play.
Okay, now this weekend again is around, it's just a few hours from now, and you have another game at hand to play. Which guys are you guys facing again this weekend?
This weekend we are playing the Boscos.
Boscos.
The Boscos.
Okay. The Boscos now, on the other hand, are also very crucial. They are bigger guys now. Their back line is out of the world. They have bigger guys and experience. So how would you navigate all of these angles?
You know, the first thing as a coach, as a national grassroots coach, what I look at the strength of the team, I look at the size of the team, I look at everything about the team we're about to face, and I know what to go in, you know. That's one good thing about me, by the special grace of God that I have, and maybe if people are not seeing it, I have it, and I've putting those records down every day of my life, you know. Now we're facing the Boscos. They have size than us. They have better size than us.
Yes.
So what do we have over them? We have something over them.
Yes, speed
of
and
course.
size.
Now, apart from speed, we have other things over them, you know. So I'm going to use those things that we have over them on them. Then I'll stop them from using their sizes on us.
Okay, that works too, but let's move away from Abuja City League, as you know, the hope and for the champions is to obviously get reasonable amounts of money and also advance into D1 and also prepare and also compete on the stage to see how you can go represent in the BAO or the international competition. So let's have a quick conversation around NBA playoffs as time is running away from us. Curry injured as Warriors win, and also Pacers stuns Cleveland. The Golden State Warriors win against Minnesota Timberwolves in the second round of the NBA playoffs was soured by a hamstring injury to Stephen Curry. The 37-year-old came off before halftime in the game one of the series after pulling up during the Warriors' 99-88 win in Minnesota. The two-time MVP clutched back off his left leg after the defensive play initially tried to carry on before the signaling to the bench that he needed to be replaced. But the Heels, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green shared the scoring burden in Curry's absence, hitting 62 points between them. Curry is likely to miss Game 2, which is set for Friday, early hours of Friday morning. Obviously, at least the Warriors wait for the result of the scan. On the other hand, Tyrese Haliburton hit a game-winner three-pointer as Indiana Pacers shocked top seeds of the Cleveland in Game 2 of their second round of playoffs. Pacers have been tailing throughout the match until a sensational fourth quarter when they outscored the Cleveland 36-21. The Cleveland wins of the Eastern Conference had a 20-point lead at one stage of the game, but after a spirited fight back from the final minutes, Haliburton produced a stunning step-back three-pointer to give his side a 2-0 leading series also, and this marks a very, very big upset. Looking at this current standings now, Indiana Pacers defeating Cleveland and also Golden State Warriors defeating Minnesota Timberwolves, all of these guys away from home. How crucial is it for them going into the next Game 2 and Game 3 respectively?
If you take the games, these are all big games. They're all big games, and like I said here one time, I could remember, I said, building team around one particular person is a big risk.
Okay.
Because if the person is out, it's going to be a problem.
Yes.
Although for Steph Curry having maybe just a finger injury, we play with that, and you know that. You know, we play with that and we still do well, you know that. Yeah. So for me, I don't believe, even if he wants to stay out for the next game, he's good, but he's going to come out for the Game 3, you know.
Game 3, yes.
And for the other team that lost,
Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a big game because it was back to back.
Yes.
It was hot.
They lost and then they threw away a 20-point lead.
Yeah. They actually picked that game at like 6 seconds to go.
Yes.
I could remember.
Yeah, around 9 seconds.
9-6 to 6 seconds.
Yes,
yeah.
it was on
there
the
was
line.
turnover,
Yes.
this, and the game was tense, seriously tense, and everybody was out to pick that game.
All right, Coach Lawal Daddy, thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of Talk Sports. We want to say thank you, and we're cheering for you and your guys to, advance into the quarterfinal stages of the Abuja City League.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and this is how much time will permit us to take. Basketball is very interesting, and football and sports generally are all very interesting games. So whichever your passion is, go at it and try to be the best at it. My name is Samuel Lodi. Many thanks for joining on today's edition of Talk Sports. I'll see you again as we talk more sports. Bye for now.